All right, thank you everybody for being here for our last session. So I'd like to welcome you to this last talk. Will be focusing on kicking off your career in AI. And I'm here to introduce two incredible women who will guide us through this exciting journey. So first we have our speaker, Natalia, who is a Google AI consultant known for her expertise in AI, sustainability, and ethics. She's a member of the AI working group supporting Polish Ministry of Digital Affairs and representative on the Google Cloud AI Ethics Committee. And then we also have Yulia, who will be joining us for the Q&A portion. And she is a vital member of the Google Tech Early Careers team. Yulia's background in vendor management on the business side of Google gives her a unique perspective on talent acquisition and development. For the past 11 years, Yulia has been an instrumental member to recruiting and nurturing talent here at Google. So with this, let's dive in and let's discover the endless possibilities of starting your career in AI. Natalia, Yulia, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and hello everyone. So it's nice to see you all here. Maybe a short intro from myself. So Natalia Skrzypek, I am working as an AI consultant, part of something that we call Google Cloud Consulting. And what I do in my job, I help Google Cloud customers build and deploy AI and ML services using Google Cloud technologies. Yulia, do you want to go like with a short intro?
Yeah, I'm Yulia, and I'm the early careers. Does it work?
Yeah, I think.
Really? Okay. So I'm a early careers recruiter, working particularly for hiring for Poland, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. If you decide to apply, and if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to take them on later on in the end of the session.
So how we structured this session, basically, first, I want to walk you through some of the examples. So like what was my experience building a career in AI, to show you also like that is a very bumpy road. Then I will give you some tips from my experience and tell you more like how my day-to-day looks like, so you get a better glimpse at what to expect when it comes to working at Google and starting your career in AI. And then we will answer any sorts of questions you might have for both of us. So, starting with the first section, which is my experience, this is basically in a nutshell how I started. So I come originally from a small town, Zamość. Anyone has been to Zamość or knows Zamość? Yeah. Okay, few folks. So if you haven't been, I highly recommend. It's also on the UNESCO list, so definitely a hidden pearl. I absolutely love it, and I would say like my journey into AI started in a non-obvious way in Zamość. So back then, I was in high school. Zamość is a very small town. I think that there was not lots of things happening, and we decided, like with a group of friends, to basically do something about it. And we started Kuźnia Talentów, which is like, if you translate it directly, forgery of talents, where we organize like different workshops, flash mobs, different types of events. And I think like that got me really into this entrepreneurial spirit, but also in this mindset that is very close to Google as a whole, that if you don't see things working the way they are supposed to, you can just like reinvent them or like build something from scratch. So I would say like that was like a first crucial milestone on my career path. Then I was quite certain that I want to go into a direction that would allow me to be fairly technical, but also grow my business skills at the same time. So back in high school, I feel like I was really good at languages and maths. And I think that my mom is a German teacher. My dad is an IT teacher. So you can kind of guess where this was coming from. Warsaw School of Economics was an obvious choice for me. And I did the quantitative methods and information systems. And that's where I also took some additional courses in programming. And I thought that, like that's something that I really like to do. And that's something that I really enjoy to do. And then I continued my studies on data science, doing my master's at University of Warsaw. But during my last year of my bachelor's at Warsaw School of Economics, I started my work at Microsoft. This was pure accident. Basically, I had a colleague who was super invested in all of this employee referral programs. So she was doing an internship at Microsoft, and she was just like, referring every person that she knew for like every job posting that was there. And she was like, okay, like I can refer you for like this finance analyst job. And I was like, yeah, why not? I don't know what I wanted to do. Microsoft seems like a good option, so why not? I applied, I got the job, and very quickly I realized that finance is not really my thing. But I had like a definitely very bumpy road when it comes to like my career path. But like even being in an organization like Microsoft or like Google, it opens so many doors. It opens so many options, because even if you land somewhere that maybe you feel is not your ideal path or like your ideal solution, then you can apply for so many other roles and like explore and see basically what you like. And this way, I applied for another role, which was technical solutions professional. This was also in a field that I did not really like because it was in DevOps. Um, but it definitely helped me to then like get more technical experience, get more experience using Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure Cloud then. And I feel that this also allowed me to like get all of the right people to help me to get to the final stage, which was AI, cloud solution architect, which was like my final and like longest role at Microsoft. And when I was working, I also took this master's doing the data science. But very quickly, after I think 2 semesters, I was just overworked. It was too much at that stage. So I never finished my master's. But also, I feel that, in a company like Microsoft or Google, you are exposed to so many trainings, to so many options that I never was able to really find at universities, because they were just falling behind what is going on in the market and what is going on in general in terms of the technology and the trends. So I decided to fully invest in my professional career, pause for that moment my university degree. And very quickly, I decided that, I want to still grow in the AI space. And that's when I made the decision that I want to apply for a role at Google as an AI consultant. In between the two, I also had a short episode with, you can see the icon. This is Sermoso, like a startup that I was aiming to found with a few of my colleagues. So we wanted to do a natural language processing model for doctors to be able to do the documentation in a seamless way. So you can imagine you go to a doctor for a visit. There is a transcript of your visit, and everything gets automatically put into the documentation. Very quickly realized that this is a very niche topic. We would need to spend like 5 years doing research for Polish medical language, and we decided, like, to invest in something 5 years, we are definitely not ready to do that. So that's why I also thought, okay, I want to continue in the corporate world, and I accepted the offer at Google. And I've been in this role for almost 3 years now. I can definitely say that I found like my happy place when it comes to the career and what I'm doing. Um, and you can see like it definitely took some ups and downs. It was not a very clear path. And it might be the case for some of you as well, that it's not a straightforward line. It's not one job that you just find. It takes multiple steps to get to a place where you feel like that's your place. And at the same time, working at Google, I still explore some of the areas that are very interesting to me and that are very close to my heart. For example, the responsible AI. So I am part of the responsible Google Cloud Responsible AI board, and the team that's reviewing different responsible AI submissions for projects working with customers. I will go into details a bit later. But also, helping, for example, the Ministry of Digital Affairs with some of the topics related to AI. That's also how I feel I can, share back my knowledge and contribute to something that's, hopefully beneficial for the broader society. And with that, let's go into some of more details of do I do at Google and what a day in the life of an AI consultant looks like. Um, I would say that my role specifically contains three main pillars. First of all, we have the technical expertise, then we have the business side, and then we have something that at Google we call 20% projects. So my role definitely requires lots of technical expertise. Um, I think that when you build deploy models, like mostly I am leading engineering teams that then produce the code, produce the solution, but I need to be able to understand that what everyone is doing, help them with the architecture, help with the design. So having this background, being able to speak the same language is definitely super, super important. But also, my organization is working very closely with the customers. So my role is purely customer facing. And I would say it's very probably it varies from role to role, but we have at Google very customer centric mindset. So whether you are a software engineer or you are an AI engineer or a consultant, customers are at the core, and every product, every service is built to then serve the customers. So we work a lot with product teams where we test new solutions, either new functionalities on the Vertex AI models, or the platform itself. And then we go to the customers, we get the feedback, we try to understand what is working, what is not working, having this business oriented mindset as well. So that's definitely super helpful to match the two, so the technical one and the business one. And then you have lots of flexibility what you want to do with the 20% of your time. There are different development options, so you are free to choose like what kind of projects you want to take on. We have like a whole website where you can search through opportunities, and for example, you can decide that for 20% of your time you want to do something in YouTube or in Waymo or like in other of the Alphabet organization related projects. So I personally right now help the Google for Startups organization, and I help a startup with some of the technical aspects, so how to be scalable. And you see, like it all circles back, because I guess like without the startup experience that I had, I would not be able to like fully digest and understand their struggles. So like every experience that I had, even like if I thought at that stage was not important right now, it's super helpful as well. And to give you some more examples of what I am doing, I thought it's the best way to show it based on a customer study. So, one of my favorite projects that we used to do is it has to do with DeepMind and wind power or wind power energy scheduling, and then also creating optimal bidding strategy. So back in the days, DeepMind came up with a solution to optimize the wind energy coming from the Google-owned wind farms. So, for example, in the US or even in EMEA, JPAC, Google owns some of the wind farms to then source this energy to all of the data centers that we are using. And DeepMind, they do all of this like crazy and groundbreaking things that you can read about, and AlphaGo being one of the examples, but also doing things that can benefit the society, sustainability, and so on. Wind energy was one of them, and so together with my team, we were implementing this commercially for one of the customers. So we worked with Engie, which is a wind farm operator in Germany, and we worked with their whole portfolio of wind farms in Germany. And we did two things. So first of all, we tried to predict how much energy their wind farms are going to produce at a given hour. So they would have like literally like a spreadsheet where, for hour, 8 a.m., this is the amount of energy that they would produce from all of the wind farms. For 9 a.m., this is the amount. And then what is the optimal bidding strategy? So how they should position this energy on the short-term market. Should they sell it on the I don't want to go into details because it's like a super specific and niche topic, but basically how to maximize the ROI coming from the wind farms as well. So that was very rewarding experience as well, because it's one of the examples where you feel like you are also doing something that helps sustainability in general. And the other rewarding part of my work is the responsible AI part. So I feel that at the core of Google and like all of the technologies that we're building is responsible AI. Obviously, it can mean a lot of things. Here are some of the examples. And I think that even like before Gen AI or LLMs, Google created their own AI principles. So these are the things that we follow, and like where we will not pursue AI for what kind of use cases. And what I do with my team is we go one by one the customer use cases that they would want to build with Google, with my team, and we try to understand if they match the Google AI principles. If there's anything related to surveillance, to overall harm, to maybe something that's contradicting any of the human rights, Google simply will not pursue those. And we had cases where we had to decline cooperating building specific use cases because they would violate the Google AI principles. And with that, let me share with you some of my tips based on my experience, like how to start and grow your career in AI. And I think I mentioned this already a couple of times. Career in AI is a super bumpy road. There's no one way how to do it. But I have some tips based on my experience, like what worked. Definitely something that you can already pay attention to is getting the different types of certification. So, for example, at Google, there is this program, Get Certified, where you can join for free different trainings, and at the end you can take Google Cloud certification also for free. You just need to invest some time to do all of the learning paths, all of the workshops, and so on. But this is something that definitely is super valuable for any type of interviews, or like anything, any type of applications that you might have for in the cloud field. So definitely recommend looking into that. Then getting your first gig. So I would say that it's even like if you think about entry level roles at Google, it's super important that you start and you have some of the experience. So whether that be, doing an internship, or like having some background in the let's say, like, depending on the role that you are applying for in the field that's related to it, this would basically help you also go through the interview process. There are lots of role related knowledge that is required for every role that you apply at Google. So having some experience is definitely very beneficial. And like having like this, there's also like a bunch of good interview guides for Google that you can find online. So like doing the research is that also very helpful, like to think how you can be more targeted and strategic about that. And understanding your passion. So I would say, like, when you think about Google Cloud and AI, there are different elements that you can be thinking about. So whether that be software engineering, or maybe you want to go somewhere between the technical and business side, just like myself, or maybe you want to go purely business, so into more of the sales roles, where you understand the technology, and that's like really huge asset. But at the same time, maybe you have the sales spirit that you want to explore. So like to be able to test and try different things, and to really align with what are your true skills, that you feel also good about, that you feel like are the ones that you want to explore. Then finding a mentor. I cannot highlight this enough. I think, for me, there was always this notion of imposter syndrome. And I thought that, okay, like landing a job at Google, like basically you don't need to prove that, you're smart enough, or like that, your stuff. But then you go into Google and you talk with all of the people who finished Harvard, Yale, or like have so much experience, have so much knowledge, and you need to have someone to help you navigate through the path. So there, obviously, once you are at Google, there are lots of mentorship programs that can help you find the right person. Because I feel like also with mentorship, it's like a bit with therapy. You don't always like click with the first person that you talk with. You need to treat it more as a process, and just find a person that you really like to work with, and you feel that operates on how we say it in Polish, like operates on the same wave level. So has the same energy that you do as well. Take risks. So definitely in this field, lots of things are changing, and you need to be somewhat able to take a leap of faith and take some risks. For myself, when I was joining the cloud architect team at Microsoft, focusing on AI, a lot of my teammates were like, why are you doing this? AI is just like another bubble that will disappear in a few years. Like back then, no one was thinking about like Gen AI, LLMs, anything like that. They thought about this, that, infra, like security, these are the right topics, because they will stay for a very long time, and AI will be gone within a few years. And I feel like I felt very explorative and adventurous, so I definitely wanted to take that risk. And same goes right now. Few years ago, like no one, even at Google, like no one would have thought that the world in general is ready to adopt Gen AI, and here we are when everyone is using LLMs. So taking those risks and being open to take risks. Then saying yes to things. I think that's like the biggest thing that changed a lot of elements in my career. So whenever I get asked a question, Natalia, can you do this and this? And my first reaction is like, there's no way I can do it because, I don't have the right skills. I don't have the right knowledge. I don't have enough time. But I say yes, and then I just figure out the rest later. And it helps definitely as you go because you have a bigger network, more people that can support you. But saying yes to things, and then figuring the rest later is like, I would put it as my main motto. Then being adventurous, so it goes back also to my, let's say, like bumpy career path. Be open to like different experience. Sometimes you might see that, okay, like this is an intermediate step that will help me get where I want to be. It's maybe not where I want to be at the end, but be open like to explore this path as long as you feel you are learning something and it's getting you closer. And last but not least, I highly recommend those two books. This is for when you are actually in your career and you want to grow. So, how to navigate corporate politics and who gets promoted, who doesn't, and why. These are the two books I feel like are the holy grail. I wish I read them earlier, and I cannot say how many times I recommended them to a lot of people, and they continuously come back and they say, yeah, this changed a lot of things. So being able to understand the different interactions, like how the corporate world works, how to fit in it, and like how to understand the different politics behind it, really really helps. So I guess with that, we are into the Q&A session. So, um, yeah, I think we can answer any questions that you might have.
Anybody have any questions? Mike? No?
Maybe you have some questions regarding the roles, or like how to prepare for the interviews and so on. That's maybe not my biggest field of expertise, but Yulia can probably answer those too.
What are the entry-level roles for, I guess, not fresh graduates, but a
Bit more advanced. Yulia, you wanna?
bit more? That's a good question. To be completely honest, as I'm hiring for early careers, I'm not sure what roles are available at the moment for mid-level people, for people at mid-level careers. But I'm happy to follow up with you once I find out. Do you know, Kasha, any roles for mid-level? Software engineers only would be my first. Customer engineer always there, but yeah, we're actively hiring software engineers across all the levels, of their careers. Indeed.
So also, like, if you go to the Google Careers website, there is the like if you go like into a specific role, there is a like filter or like a section where you can check what's the expected experience level. There's like the early, mid, or like high expert. I guess they're like this differentiating between the three. So that's also an easy way to check that.
What I've noticed is that, like, for the roles that look sound, for example, really interesting, they would have either for fresh graduates, and then it's just like you have to be a third year or like final year student, and then the ones that would be, I guess, not for the fresh graduates, they would already require like some technical background.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what is the possibility for those?
So my advice would be like to still try to apply for the roles that, even if you feel okay, it says like, I know 5 8 years or 3 and you have 2, like still go for it and try. I think that anyways, like it will depend on how your interview process goes, and this is just like I would say like a direction, but not a hard requirement always.
Also, just to add to this, there are roles for different levels in your career, right? So early careers and then more senior level that you are talking about. And if you don't see them at the Google careers at the moment, it doesn't mean that they don't exist. They definitely exist. It's just that we're not hiring at the moment, right? And you can always sign up for notifications once the role becomes available, and then definitely feel free to apply. So definitely don't lose the faith here, and just try all the chances. And we are actively hiring at the moment, and we are going to hire even more. So just use Google Careers as your source of the information, and I'm quite sure if you're any good fit, you'll get it there for sure.
You've maybe noticed that around this room and in some other spaces, we place those links to so-called career profiles. So that's basically a pretty new thing that launched not long time ago on Google Careers. So the site where you can find all of the opportunities globally. So it's actually pretty cool because you can fill in your career profile. You can put your, your skill set. You can put your CV, graduation date, things like that, and then it's basically also AI powered, and it can generate potential recommendations for you based on your profile. So to be honest, this might not be available yet in Poland, the recommendation of jobs, but it will come here soon enough, I think. But for now, you can fill in your profiles, and this will also give an access for recruiters to see your profiles, for example, consider you for roles while sourcing for positions, for example. So that's one way to try.
We had a question over there.
Actually, it kind of got answered, like partially. But I wanted to ask if there any possible way to get into Google without any other work experience, let's say, because that's the first part of my question. And the second one is, would PhD be an asset for Google, and what roles should I look into if I have a PhD? Is it still early stage, or should I don't know, apply for a higher one, even though I don't have like work experience?
That's a great question. And just a follow-up question, a clarifying question. Do you have a related degree, or are you in the process of obtaining one?
Okay, so I have a PhD in physics, which is not directly computer science, but it's STEM.
Of course, but you have some knowledge of the concepts that.
Yes, as a side gig, I started doing machine learning, and now
that's great. So we're totally aware that experience comes in all shapes and forms. So we don't really need a particular experience, couple of years of experience somewhere as a full timer. We know that you invest a lot of time into your education, taking into account that you are completing the PhD degree. You are very busy with obtaining it, getting the most out of it. So probably you have some internships. This could be one way to get the experience from. Another way would be the projects inside the classroom or outside the classroom from your extracurricular activities. Maybe you play sports or do some charity activities, then showcase your skills there. Maybe you attended some relevant courses, workshops, you were a participant of a hackathon and demonstrated great achievements there. Another good example of the showcasing of the experience may be that you graduated with honors or with you are a part of the deans, you are a member of the dean's list, for instance. So you can showcase your experience in your CV by different things, and different experience of yours. It's not about the experience, the industry experience. Definitely, it's good to have. But to answer another part of your question, do we consider PhDs as early graduates? Yes, we do. But then we offer a different seniority to PhD students comparing to those who graduate from bachelor's or master's. Does it help?
Thank you. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
When you applied for the Google, was the interview process any different than most of the interviews? And did you prepare for it in any special way or differently?
Yeah, so in my case, the interview process was quite lengthy, so it took a couple of months. So I know that my case was like very special, also due to different specifics like of the team and so on. So for myself, I think I had 4 main interviews. So like there was the initial interview where they check your role related knowledge. So that would be a mix of technical questions regarding AI ML and also some of those related to AI project delivery. So how to handle stakeholder management or how to handle different risks related to projects or like program management in general. And then there was a whole day with 3 interviews. One of them was regarding googliness. So how do I match with like the culture? Am I a fit in terms of like different Google values? The other one was also role related knowledge. So this was a technical interview. And there was one more around leadership, I believe. So, like, tell me last time when you had a conflict in a team, how did you resolve it? Like this type of questions. So that was for my team. But as we are right now recruiting also AI engineers into my team, they follow a slightly different process. So there's also a software element to it. So like architectural design, software design, interview, the role related knowledge, and also coding interview. So I would say like my profile goes into more data science. So, I never did like any software development. I more did like stuff related to like AI, ML, machine learning, and this type of things. But if you want to go into more software engineering, like SWE roles or like AI engineer, then definitely you need to be prepared for more technical related interviews.
Thank you. I think we might have time for one final question if there's any. Any questions? Okay, so I think with that we can wrap it up. Thank you so much, Natalia and Yulia.
Thank you. Thank you so much.